I know this video won't get nearly as much steam as the top 10 designer version or the cheapies version, but I think that these fragrances should be highlighted. So these are my top 10 fragrances that are from the niche and indie realm for summer. Stay tuned. What's going on, everybody? My name is Joshua, and this is our channel, ScentSense. To all loyal subscribers who continue to watch these videos every time I put them out, to you fine folks, wherever you may be on this round rock we called Earth, thank you so much. And to all you new people who are maybe checking out the channel for the very first time, and you haven't decided if you want to stick around, if you think it's flat, it's okay. Just join the crew. We don't have to argue about that. We both like fragrances. That's why you're here. Jumping right into it is a fragrance from our house that recently was revived from the dead. A fragrance house that had a lot of steam and a lot of people were disappointed that it was gone. And when they found out it was gone, man, people were clamoring for these bottles like crazy, especially this one. I got my hands on it because of a great and loyal subscriber. From the House of Commodity at number 10, Bergamot. So Commodity makes fragrances that are meant to be layered or experienced together, and Bergamot is exactly that, Bergamot. Think super fruity, super bright, super juicy, Bergamot. If you're looking for something that's very linear, very clean, very easy to wear, and will make you super approachable, from the House of Commodity, Bergamot. At number 9 is a fragrance that is the most highly touted fragrance from this brand, in my opinion. I hear about it the most. It is a fig fragrance, and you knew I had to have it. From the House of ACQUA de PARMA, from the Blue Mediterraneo line, FICO di AMALFI. FICO di AMALFI is a fig-centric fragrance. This comes from their Blue Bottle line. It's kind of like the Blue Bottle line from Tom Ford. It's a Mediterranean line. Everything is super clean and either fruity or floral or both at the same time. And this one is fig done really well. This one's a little more earthy, a little more dry. It kind of gives me a different aspect of fig, which is one of the reasons why I'm glad I got it, because it doesn't smell like every other fig fragrance I own. If you're looking for something that's well done and definitely highlights fig, and you're into the fig note as much as I am, go ahead and check out ACQUA de PARMA's FICO di AMALFI. At number 8 is a fragrance that has a super cool looking bottle, and it looks like you have a lot more money than you do if you own it. It's easily one of the most underrated gems of the niche world, and I think everyone should look into it. It's one of the most overlooked brand fragrances from the brand. People reach for Naxos, Neo, Mephisto, all of the other fragrances that come from the line. Easily my favorite. From the House of XERJOFF, 40 Knots. 40 Knots is a super clean, slightly dense oceanic fragrance. This is what I would call the strength of the ocean, because this is one of those rare fragrances that I think are great for the summertime, that are potent, that are heavy, that will definitely last an entire day and then some. This is one of those fragrances you're gonna have to scrub off your skin and definitely wash out of your clothes a few times. This is something that I will definitely reach for when I want to garner attention, when I want to be noticed, and I want people to know that, hey, I'm wearing fragrances and you should know that I am. That doesn't mean you should overspray this. That will get cloying. I think that this is something you should reach for if you're looking for a fresh, watery, clean fragrance, but you don't want the same humdrum that comes from the designer realm and a lot of niche fragrance brands that are trying to make fragrances to appease that crowd. If you're looking for something that's not unique, but just done a little bit better than your average aquatic fragrance and actually has a backbone or some cojones, go ahead and check out 40 Knots from XERJOFF. At number 7 is a fragrance from an independent brand. The brand is Imaginary Authors, and the fragrance is SUNDRUNK. So SUNDRUNK is a fragrance that was released, I think it was 2018. This is like, think you just poured yourself an orange soda or maybe one of those tropical sodas, like one of the Fantas, and you put your mouth to the cup and you just poured it, so the little bubbles are popping and it's tingling your nose, and you can smell the fragrance of the drink you're about to drink, that's what this is. It's got notes of rhubarb, neroli, honeysuckle, orange zest, a little bit of rose water. This is a super unique, fresh, zesty summer fragrance. As with all Imaginary Authors fragrances, they all have an imaginary note, and this one is First Kiss. This fragrance is supposed to give you the feeling or evoke the emotion of your very first kiss. Think summertime, you're on the beach, you're with this girl, you're super nervous, you know, you're green behind the ears, and you get your first kiss. That's what this is supposed to evoke. I've got to tell you, it doesn't evoke that for me, but what it does evoke for me is a super awesome, unique summertime fragrance. From the house of Imaginary Authors, SUNDRUNK. At number 6 is a fragrance that will often scare people away when it comes to summertime. People immediately think, man, I don't know about oud in summer. But in my opinion, this one works really well, and it blends lemon and mint together so well, and oud knows its place. It's definitely not in the forefront. From the house of MANCERA, AOUD Lemon Mint. This, in my opinion, is the best offering from the house. This is lemon and mint, and this is heavy. This is sticky. This will last. This will project. Think 40 knots projection and lasting and heaviness of a fragrance, but think summertime. This is gonna be super bright and super fresh. The oud in this definitely lends toward the nighttime. I think this will be my nighttime fragrance. This is gonna be when I can finally take my wife on a date night fragrance. This will definitely work in those, you know, scenarios. And I'm sure if you buy a fragrance right now, you know, even though we're under COVID crap, I'm sure in the coming years, you may still own this. So you don't just buy a fragrance because you're planning for like the next month. You're probably planning for the next few summers or a few seasons or a few days. And this will definitely fit that bill if you want something ultra unique, super awesome, very different, and a fragrance for summertime with oud. It's crazy, right? If you want something that's definitely gonna set you apart, go ahead and check out AOUD Lemon Mint. At number 5 is a fragrance from the house of Bond. Bond at number 9, that is. And I really love this one. I like it better than Aventus. It's often compared to Aventus. I don't think they smell alike at all. I think they just share pineapple. I think that .com smells a lot more like Aventus than this one does, and I think this one's better than both. From the house of Bond number 9, Scent of Peace. This is one of those rare fragrances that definitely garnered me some like super eccentric fragrance compliments. Now, preface, it was Mardi Gras, people were drunk, but I got some super like over the top compliments. I won't go into detail. Let's just say it was like slightly rapey comments. So I have to say this one definitely did its job if you're looking for super enthusiastic compliments. This fragrance really highlights the brightness of the pineapple. I think that this one is something that I've burned through. I don't know if you can see it, but there's only about this much left in the bottle, which this thing is usually filled all the way up to the top. This is my dad's signature scent now. I've actually gotten him 2 bottles of this. He loves this to death. I always try to keep him strapped up with this. This is something that I think will always belong in my collection. If you're looking for something that's like a Creed Aventus alternative, but more sparkly, more zesty, more summertime leaning, go ahead and check out this bad boy right here. From the house of Bond number 9, Bond number 9's Scent of Peace. At number 4 is a fragrance that I often describe as entry-level niche fragrance. Not taking away from the quality, not saying it's not good. I think this is perfect for someone who's just jumping into the world of niche and has been living the life of the Bleu de Chanel's, the Dior Sauvages, you know, all those fragrances that they're used to seeing in their Macy's and Dillard's. Anyway, at number 4, from the house of ROJA, ELYSIUM. ELYSIUM, in my opinion, is like the niche version of the blue craze. Think niche Dior Sauvage, think niche Bleu de Chanel, think niche Versace Dylan Blue. I think this is just really fantastic. It's got a ton of notes, and in my opinion, it smells like super expensive sweet tarts. Yes, I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's what I get from it. And as you can see, I have gotten a lot of wear out of this bottle. I've got literally, I mean, that much left. Like, I'm talking about maybe 10 milliliters. That's why I sparingly wear it now. I kind of went crazy with it when I first got it, and I burned through it super, super fast. And it's a super popular fragrance, and it makes perfect sense why. From the house of ROJA, ELYSIUM. At number 3 is a fragrance that I have loved for a while, and I have suggested to many people. It's also the icon of a very popular YouTube viewer named Jeremy Hines. From the house of État Libre d'Orange, You or Someone Like You. You or Someone Like You doesn't even have an official no composition list. You can't even find out what's in it. You can definitely pick up the mint. It does smell kind of like a mint mojito, but I have no idea what's really inside. But what I can tell you about this fragrance is it definitely works in the months of summer, especially in the high heat, and it projects, and it lasts, and it's super unique. You'll notice that the trend of this list is super long lasting, super bright, super strong fragrances for summertime. This is one of those mint fragrances that I think smells super unique, and nothing else comes even close to holding a candle to what this is. And I think this should be a staple in everybody's collection if you're into niche and indie fragrances. So if you're looking for a mint mojito and you've got a little extra cash to spend, especially because you've got that stimulus check, from the house of État Libre d'Orange, You or Someone Like You. At number 2 is a fragrance from the house of Creed. No, it's not the ones you're gonna immediately blurt out like the Erolfas or the Millésime Impériales or even Creed or, Aventus or Aventus Cologne. No, it's the most summery fragrance from the line and the most love-hate fragrance from the line. From the house of Creed, Virgin Island Water. This is easily, without a doubt, my favorite fragrance from the house of Creed. This is summertime in a bottle to me. I know a lot of people think it smells like super expensive suntan lotion. Call it what it is. It just really, really works for me. This is a zesty coconut tropical fragrance, super fruity, super juicy, really, really well performing for me on my skin, especially in the high heat. Yes, you may have to reapply, and I know that sounds redundant when I said performing, but when it comes to projection and initial wear, it really pushes out. And then it gets close to the skin, but at the end of the day, when you're on the beach and you're sweating your butt off, do you really want somebody all up on top of you? And if you do want somebody all up on top of you, they're gonna smell it anyway. Something that can be worn by him and by her, something that's truly unisex and definitely works really well in the high heat of summer. From the house of Creed, Virgin Island Water. At number 1 is a fragrance from a smaller independent brand. This is something that I've burned through half of a bottle since I've owned it. I've touted this highly because I think this is what Versace's, exclusive line should have smelled like. And I said this before they even had an exclusive line, and their exclusive line, from what I hear, is absolute crap. This is easily what Versace should have done. Versace should have knocked on this dude's door and demanded that he sold it to him. Christian, you did a good job with this one. From the house of ARGOS, at number 1, ARGOS Pour Homme. ARGOS Pour Homme is a slightly gentlemanly, super fresh and vibrant fragrance. It has a great lemon note in it. It's sparkly. Think what you get from all the Versace line, just done really high end. This is the kind of stuff, if you're familiar with Vegas, that you would smell pumped into the air at like the Venetian or the Bellagio. Those high-end casinos where there's this smell that you smell in all the rooms and you have no idea what it is. It's this crap pumping through the air, because this one right here works so great in the summertime, and it has a super high-end, high-class feel to it. Every time I wear it, I feel like I'm more important than I really am, and it kind of takes you on a journey, and I feel like that's what fragrance is supposed to do. It's supposed to elevate the way you feel. It's supposed to elevate your presence, and I think this one definitely does that. I've also done a video recently on an ARGOS fragrance. I'll go ahead and leave that linked right here. If you want to go check that one out, there's also a coupon code if you want to buy any kind of ARGOS fragrances, just to help out my viewers. But this one right here is definitely my favorite from the brand, and I think it's one that I will definitely stay with for a long time because I think it's so fantastic. At number 1, from the house of ARGOS, ARGOS Pour Homme. All right, this is the point where we get the conversation started. Let me know in the comment section below, what are fragrances you would put on your list? What are some fragrances on my list you would take off? And what are some ones that are on my list that you're like, me too, bro? If you made it to this point in the video, that means you've enjoyed the content. So while you're at it, just go ahead and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, I say go ahead and click the notification bell while you're at it. It's just another click. That way when my videos come out, you will be the very first to know. And as always, and most importantly, I will smell each and every one of you later. Peace.